Hi, my name is Dave. Today we're going to look at a couple of reflecting toy telescopes. These are reflectors, they have mirrors in them. And these are both from the 1950s, maybe 1960s, something like that. A little unsure on the date on this one. Anyway, this one is for sure from the 1950s. I know because I had one just like it. This is the Gilbert EDD power telescope. Here's the box that it comes in. Convenient, sort of flimsy, but nice. This is the telescope. I had a telescope like this back in, I guess it was about 1957. I would have been around 10 years old. And it was a very poor telescope for a number of reasons. I think I wouldn't have known about the optics. All I know is that when I took it out and tried to look at the moon, I found the moon and I could actually focus it. And you focus it by doing that, which is a pain, a terrible pain. The main problem is I found the moon and then I touched it and it was gone. And it was very, very frustrating. I think that's a pretty typical experience with these kinds of telescopes. They're actually optically not bad. It's the mount. It's the mount where they fail. This thing has a little ball head, kind of a strange thing here. You turn it around like that. You can go up and down like that. You can tighten it down like that, but it's just not, it's not very good at all. And the peep scope finder might as well be, it's just a hollow tube. And it's fairly useless. You can sight along the edge of the tube and do just as well. Oh, I better tighten up my mount, huh? Anyway, this telescope, I guess it's about maybe at most a 3-inch, maybe a 2.5 or 3-inch reflector. The aperture, I'm sure it's a spherical mirror. The optics here, the eyepieces are terrible. I think there, as I remember, there's only one eyepiece with this thing. Not very good at all. And if it's only 80 power, that's much too high a power. If you had something that was 20 power, that would be more usable. This thing was just, oh, terrible. Terrible nightmare. The metal legs attach here. Maybe I'll show you a close-up of all that. The metal legs here attach, and they're not bad, I guess, but certainly not great. The main thing is this, that whole structure there. Here's a close-up of this ball head kind of a deal. And you can see that it sort of works. Part of the problem is I don't have this tight enough. But if you loosen it, you can loosen it and the whole thing comes out, and it's a pain to rebalance it and get it all straightened out and stuff. You tighten it down like that for a certain amount of tension. I found it to be completely unusable, and it disappeared and I never used it again, at least not for that purpose. This is the Skillcraft 40-80 power satellite telescope with an extendable tripod. This tripod, I'm standing up now, so this tripod comes up pretty high. That doesn't make it better. It certainly doesn't make it any better. Anyway, there's the beautiful box. I kind of really like the color on this thing. That kind of aquamarine color. There's the box that it comes in. It even has instructions. And I'm going to guess this has got to be late 50s, early 60s. Here's the other eyepiece. This is I've got a 40 power eyepiece in there. This is an 80 power. This telescope is just absolutely horrible. Even at 40 power, the image is, of course, maybe if it had a 20 power or 15 power eyepiece, that would make it usable. Of course, you could probably put a great big old Nagler in there and that would be funny. Anyway, I'll have to do that for a joke sometime. Anyway, that would be maybe a usable telescope. Of course, you'd have to remount it, put it on an astrophysics mount as well. So, yeah, you could have some real fun. Anyhow, this thing is absolutely horrible. The finder is fairly useless. The optics are terrible in every respect. But the main thing, look at this mount, look at that. I mean, talk about all the number of bad things that are wrong with this telescope. That mount has got to be the worst I've ever seen. I'll show you a close-up of this thing. It just, oh, it's awful. Okay, take a look how this works. There are the little non-beefy hinges for the tripod legs. That's one part of it. Then down here you have, it's just a little ball head kind of a deal. It has got to be, I've hardly ever seen a flimsier ball head in my entire life. And this thing just screws on there, so you're supposed to screw it on there and tighten this down, and then use the ball head to put it where you want. Oh my goodness, what a nightmare. I thought the Gilbert was bad. I never tried to use this as a kid, but I'm sure it would have been equally or more frustrating than the Gilbert. Even at 40 power, it might have been a little better than the 80 power of the Gilbert. I hope you enjoyed having a look at these two toy reflecting telescopes from the 1950s, 1960s. Thank you very much for watching.